The reason why there haven't been as many film adaptations of the Odyssey as one might think and expect is simply that it is considered unfilmable. It is an epic. It has epic length with more than 12,000 verses. The language is highly formulaic and includes epic similes that are up to 15 lines. There are supernatural forces, gods and monsters. The narrated time is more than 20 years. And then, to challenge all of that even more, is that the narrator tells most of the action from memory. And the locations you have to visit with your film crew are all around the Mediterranean. Modern audiences will be able to connect with the Odyssey relatively simply. One of the reasons is that you have an incredibly fascinating family drama and trauma. Just think about it. A couple has a newborn son. The husband leaves for war and doesn't return for 20 years. During those 20 years, Penelope, Odysseus' wife, is pursued by suitors who want to marry her because that would make them the kings of the island of Ithaca. And she finds imaginative reasons to keep them at bay. At the same time, and for 7 years of his return journey, Odysseus is actually kept captive by a sea nymph by the name of Calypso on an island that is, well, pretty close to Love Island as far as its parameters are concerned. And she offers him not only physical pleasure, but also immortality. Odysseus turns her down. He wants to return home to Ithaca. The Odyssey has had such incredible staying power has to do with its reception history. There is the national identity, and the Greeks used the stories of the Iliad and the Odyssey as part of their storytelling about one another. The Romans come in when they take over the Mediterranean and create a fan fiction under the Emperor Augustus, who also wants a story to unite the Romans. They call it the Aeneid, and it turns Odysseus, who is smart and intelligent, into somebody who is wily and whose name is Ulysses, because the Romans cannot pronounce Odysseus. In the Middle Ages, Dante uses the Odyssey as one of his models for the Divine Comedy. In 18th century America, there's an entire craze about Roman and Greek heritage, and that's why we have a city called Ithaca in New York, and we have the first name of a famous general by the name of Grant. So we have an entire transmedia tradition here that consists of literature, sculpture, paintings, video games, anime, and pulp fiction, and most recently, the AI voice of Michael Caine as it tells the entire Odyssey. The staying power of the Odyssey has to do with its kind of presenting an ur-form, an original form of how human beings tell stories about one another. We call that the hero's journey in this case, and you will recognize the Odyssey in this. First, Odysseus is back home, and he's getting sort of restless. He's king of Ithaca, but he knows there's an entire world out there. The restlessness is answered by a call to action. He goes and fights the war in Troy. And then he's tested against all odds, surviving and finding his own identity throughout all these trials and tribulations. And then he returns home.